It's another late night here. Alright, now why did I make this cup of coffee? Oh yeah, that's right. I've got business. Welcome back to Pentagram Prime, everybody. Oh, sorry, there goes my ventilation system. Welcome back to Pentagram Prime, everybody. I wasn't counting on cutting an episode today, but I ended up having to call in a noise complaint around 9:30 on one of my neighbors, and I was so wired after putting up with that crap that just figured it'd be best to just jump in and go solve an integral. So we are going to evaluate the integral of e to the ax multiplied times sine of bx. Because really, I'm spending way too much time making videos about Kerbal Space Program, and I'm not very good at it anyway. Alright, so for those of you unfamiliar with integration by parts, you may want to go back and review that a little bit, but that's what we're doing here. We're going to go ahead and integrate the first term and then leave the second term alone. So that's what we do in the first part on the right hand side here. And then we go ahead and we take the derivative of sine of bx over here, multiply times the same thing, the e to the ax over a term. And then we have this thing, whatever that is. Coming down here, we're going to go ahead and, what did I do here? Let's see. Yes. So keep the terms, combine the terms for that term. And then we're going to pull 1 over a out of the integral. We're going to complete the derivative up there. If you do not know, sorry about that. If you do not know how to do derivatives, you may want to go ahead and find another lesson. So, d dx of sine of bx ends up being cosine of bx multiplied times b, which I almost forgot to put in the video in the first place. And then coming down here, we carry through the b terms, so we end up with b divided by a, which we get down here, b over a. This first term stays the same. And then inside we now have the integral of, well, this thing, e to the ax multiplied times cosine bx. What we do is we end up doing integration by parts all over again on this integral. So now we have the same thing, e to the ax divided by a, just like last time, multiplied times cosine bx, minus e to the ax over a times the derivative of cosine of bx this time. Let's hope I can turn this page seamlessly. Yeah, probably not. Let's see. Alright. So, that first term still stays the same. It is, sorry, autofocus isn't catching in. And, ooh, getting a sip here. Yeah, only thing that makes the night go by. Yeah, so first term stays the same. And then we pull out another factor of a from the integral there. And why is this thing not focusing? Come on, come on. All right, close enough. Yeah, another factor of a comes out, so we have b over a squared. And then inside the parentheses, we have e to the ax times cosine of bx minus e to the ax times the derivative of cosine of bx last time, which is negative b multiplied times sine of bx. I was really starting to nod off as I was writing this, because I caught my second wind when I got woken up by the noise, but then, you fade pretty quick, but, play enough music and you can get through just about anything. So first term staying the same, we're just going to continue reevaluating this piece here. The factor b over a squared is the same, and as is the first term. We pulled a negative b out of this term here, and multiplying times that minus sign, we have a positive b for the factor, multiply times e to the ax times sine of bx, which, ta-da, that is the same thing that we are trying to evaluate. So we move around a couple of terms. This all stays pretty much the same, except we're just recognizing that this is equal to I, the integral that we're solving. And then we come down here, and we now have I instead of this thing. So we keep on doing a little bit more algebra, and we come up with e to the ax times sine of bx over a minus b times e to the ax, right, that's not a very good ax times cosine of bx over a squared minus b squared over a squared times I. Brief shout out to Sarin Terrell, and hope I didn't murder your name there, and Sugar D for being the first two people to comment on my channel. Your contribution does not go unnoticed. Yeah, we're kind of coming up short on the swag department, so I hope my gratitude is enough. Moving on. Shut up. Really getting sick of that compressor. So we have I on both sides, so we are going to move the terms around a little bit. And trying to make sure I don't need to comment on anything here that isn't already obvious. Yeah, if you know how to do algebra, you can do this. So when we move it over, we have I plus b squared over a squared times I equal to e to the ax divided by a. I know it looks like I almost didn't divide that a in there. Multiply times parentheses sine of bx minus b over a times cosine of bx. Got to move quick. My cell phone's running out of memory. So this term over here ends up, once we pull I out, we have 1 plus b squared over a squared. And then we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by a squared. So this all stays pretty much the same, but we're going to multiply through by a squared on both sides. So this, as you can see, becomes a squared in the first term and b squared in the second term once you multiply through by this thing. And then by taking the a squared term, we lose, basically we lose a square term by dividing out by that, and then we just have an a that multiplies through here. So you can see we lose the a when these two cancel out, and over here we just multiply through by a, and then so we have I multiplied times that thing that I just mentioned, and then here we are. We just divide through by a squared over b plus b squared. I've got about 30 seconds to finish this video. So the answer is e to the ax e to the ax divided by a squared plus b squared multiplying times a times sine of bx minus b of sine of cosine of bx. Sorry, I didn't say that right. And there's your answer. It's been fun hanging out with you guys this evening, and don't forget to always box your answers. This is Pentagram Prime signing off.